You're here. Yeah, I'm broadcasting over to YouTube as well, so that's where the replay will be on the YouTube channel. It's actually live over there right now. Good. People are coming in. It's good. So I can see everybody. I don't have immersive. Here we go. So I'll be on the screen here in a second. So it's great that everybody could come. We had about 80 people sign up for this, but we may not get 80 people today, which is perfectly fine. Like I said, a lot of people will come and watch the replay, which is fine. But you guys, I love a smaller group personally. We'll start in about another minute here. Hey, how you doing, Nick? Great to see you, man.
Doing good, Josh. How are you today?
I'm all right, man. I've had a good morning so far. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Although we have guests in town, so I'm actually sitting in a closet right now, not my normal studio, because they are using that as the guest room. So here we are, Jody. Great to see everybody coming in. And okay, here's Eileen. I'll just continue to let people in until we start, and then. Hi there, Eileen. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Eileen is one of my regulars on my Wednesday night group, my inner circle group. So and I have a student that's going to come back here too. She's going to join us in a couple of minutes.
Oh, that's good.
Sophia should be here, Eileen.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Tuesday. She's going to be doing the hypnosis then.
She is, yeah. She's going to be doing great. I just got off the meeting with her previous to this, so.
That is cool.
So where's everybody from? Eileen and I are in Ohio. I don't know where you guys are all from, but you're welcome to. Again, people are kind of coming in right now.
I'm in Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, all right. I did a lot of speaking gigs up in that area. I have friends in Madison. Yeah, I used to do a lot of motivational speaking. So Queens, New York. I think I heard that, Keith, in your accent there, that East Coast accent. Yeah. Well, we can get started here. We have 10 people here, which is fine. Again, people may come in as time goes on, and a lot of people sign up to get the replay. But I'm glad you guys are here live. It's really nice. I'll show my screen at this point. I'll show myself. So here I am. My name is Josh Wagner. I don't know if I'm coming through clear or not, but there we go. I'm dropping frames here. So I'm going to switch over to something else. I'm going to dip off the camera for just a second. Here I am. Now you can see I'm in a closet right now, so that's great. My name is Josh Wagner, and it's going to be a great. I'm going to probably meet you guys just so that we don't get too much trouble. There's my real background. I'm going to go ahead and meet you guys. It's nice to see you all. So this is going to be a great thing. I'm going to learn a little bit of hypnosis today. So if you have any questions about what hypnosis is or what it isn't, this is going to be a great experience for you. This is going to be something that's really exciting for me to teach. I'm going to record this session if that's okay with you guys. If you have any troubles with that, just let me know, or you can turn off your
recording in progress.
So again, my name is Josh Wagner. I've been working as a hypnotist for a couple of years now, and I went to the Mike Mandel School of Hypnotherapy, and that's out of Toronto, Ontario. And so I got trained during the pandemic is when I got trained, and I've always kind of been interested in hypnosis, and you guys are too. And by the end of this session here, you're going to get to experience hypnosis if you haven't done it already, and you're also going to be able to hypnotize somebody. Now, what you can do with this is going to be limited because there's a lot more to hypnosis than just putting someone into a trance. I think that it's a really great I think it's a really great thing to be able to utilize this for all sorts of wonderful things. I use it for myself every single day. I use it so that it's my form of meditation. It's my form of spirituality is what it is. And it's just going to be really great for you guys, because at the very least you can use the techniques that we're going to do today to put yourself into a meditative state. And you want to pay attention to your unconscious mind. You want to pay attention to the things that are in fact coming up for you there. So let's go ahead and get over to the slides here for just a second. And so let's talk about what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. Let's see here. So here's what we're going to cover today. The first thing is we're going to talk about what hypnosis is and what it isn't. Okay? Okay, I don't want that one. We're going to talk about what hypnosis is and what it isn't. Because a lot of people have a lot of really wacky ideas about what hypnosis is, right? And it's not that at all. It's mostly not what people think it is. So we're going to cover what that is. And we're going to make sure that you understand what it is. We're going to talk about why hypnosis is so effective at making change, and what you can do with that hypnosis, with that hypnotic experience. And we're going to learn the 3 hypnosis methods that you can use with yourself or other people. And you're going to, at the very least, be able to calm your anxiety or somebody else's, because you can use this with yourself. All hypnosis is essentially self-hypnosis. So this is something that I use these techniques on myself. I use these very 3 techniques all the time to put myself in hypnosis. Now, I know how to do more with hypnosis than that, and if you want to come back and learn from me, we can do that later. So you're welcome to put any questions you have in the chat. I would prefer that you put it in the chat rather than turning on your mics, just so that we can so I can address them at the right time. And if I can't address your questions right now, I will get back to you directly after the session is over. So what is hypnosis? Hypnosis, this is my kind of thing. We're going to talk about this a little deeper. It's creating a vivid and real internal experience that uses common cognitive resources, which allows you to change neural pathways rapidly to heal old wounds and limiting beliefs, stop old habits, and create new and more positive states. So I know that's kind of a long definition there, but honestly, what hypnosis is it's utilizing processes that are already going on in your mind. And we're gonna go deeper into this in a couple of slides. So it's not magic, it's not voodoo, it's not mind control. You are in a hypnotic state right now as you speak. The problem with hypnosis is that it has this word hypnosis, which is kind of this weird kind of term that happens. It's this weird term because people don't necessarily understand that it makes it kind of mysterious and weird, right? So it's not a mysterious or weird thing. It is perfectly normal. If you've ever watched a movie, if you have ever read a book, if you've ever had a conversation with somebody in a loud room, you've experienced hypnosis. If you've ever daydreamed, it's very close to what daydreaming is. In fact, it's the same, almost exactly the same thing. It's utilizing those same cognitive processes to get something done. To put you into a state where it's a hyper learning and a hyper focused state. So there are 4 basic kinds of hypnosis that I like to talk about, and they're equally good and equally not so good. There's group hypnosis, which I actually think is the highest form of hypnosis. Why is that? We're going to experience that here in a couple of minutes, because we're here in this group right now. We're going to experience hypnosis together, and that we're going to form a synergy. So here's how I kind of make an analogy for group hypnosis. You can watch a Netflix comedy special in your house, and you might laugh. You might even laugh out loud a couple times. But if you go to a comedy club and see that same performer with a crowd full of people that are just laughing out loud as hard as they possibly can, you're going to have the permission to laugh as loud as well. So in my experience, group hypnosis is actually the most powerful. I run a group session. 2 people are here for my weekly group sessions right now. One of my students is here, Sophia, and Eileen is here. That synergy makes it even more powerful. And what happens is that whoever is the deepest person in the group will take the rest of the group with them. And then at the end of a hypnosis session, we tend to have a conversation about what our experiences were. Well, in that conversational hypnosis, that person is actually you're actually continuing to hypnotize each other through the conversation. So you come out of hypnosis and you're still in that high learning state, that hyper focus state. And you are hypnotizing each other. If I come out and I say I had this experience of seeing an eagle flying over the sun, all of us now are picturing an eagle flying over the sun. So it's a way of doing hypnosis where not only does the hypnotist help you, but the people in the group help you. So I hope that at the end of our session today, you're willing to share some of the things either through the chat or through your microphone of some of the experiences that you had. Obviously, there's individual hypnosis or personalized hypnosis where I am hypnotizing you and you are on the receiving end. I think that that's almost as effective. I think when a hypnotist has rapport with somebody, we're going to talk about why hypnosis changes the brain here in a second, but that is a really powerful form of hypnosis. Is what I do most of my work with people. There's self-hypnosis. Now, I'm going to tell you that self-hypnosis is probably not as powerful as those first two. Why is that? In self-hypnosis, there's still a part of your brain that's still online. There's still part of your conscious mind that still has to be active. So while I think self-hypnosis is effective, I think it requires more of your effort and time to get the same results as a group hypnosis or an individual hypnosis. That's because there's a part of you that's still kind of online. And the last one is audio tracks. I actually think audio tracks are actually kind of better than self-hypnosis, again, because you can totally turn yourself off. But the problem with turn off your conscious mind. But the problem with a track is that it's typically not personalized. Now, I make personalized tracks for my clients that I work with, so I'm incorporating things that are personal to them that are going to help them. But if you can't find a hypnotist, if you can't find a group to join, then a track is actually a really good way to experience hypnosis. But we're going to do this today in a group setting. And that's why this is going to be so great and so powerful for you. And you're going to be able to take these techniques and give somebody that experience as well. So let's talk about the mind for a minute. Unconscious versus subconscious. And I know everybody uses a different term for this. I use them interchangeably. However, I do prefer the word unconscious. I tend to think of subconscious as things like your breathing, your heartbeat, the things that are really underneath your conscious mind. And they're connected together, obviously. So I do this because some people are like, no, it's called the unconscious mind. Well, or it's called the subconscious mind. I really don't care what you call it. But I'm going to typically use the word unconscious when I talk about things, because there's a variety of ways to do that, to talk about it. But I also think that using the word unconscious is a better thing than subconscious. That's just how I think about it. You are welcome to use either or when you're talking to somebody about hypnosis or you're talking to a hypnotist. I think that we're going to know that it's all the same. It's all the same business. So here's how the brain works. So I want to draw a distinction between your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. And this stuff is really important for you to understand, because hypnosis is no more than quieting down this part of your brain that's on the slides right now. It quiets down your linear, logical, and linguistic thinking. So our left brain is where our language centers are. Our language centers are a far newer part of our brain than the other parts of our brain. The prefrontal cortex is pretty new. This is the part of your brain that judges and evaluates things, okay? So it's going to pull things apart. And I'm going to give you a metaphor here. Have you ever been to a movie with somebody and they sit there and say, that could never happen. Oh, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. It ruins the whole movie for you, right? It ruins the whole movie for you. That's your critical mind. It's there to protect your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is very open to suggestion. Your unconscious mind is open to new realities. Your unconscious mind is open to new ways of thinking. And if you were like that all the time, where you were just completely open all the time, you would fall for everything all the time. You would believe everything. There's a Ricky Gervais movie called The Invention of Lying, where he's the only guy that can lie in the whole world. And everybody believes him because they don't have a critical faculty. So everything he says, they just believe. So your critical faculty is this part of your brain, this judgmental part of your brain, this evaluative part of your brain that protects the other side of your brain, which is much more like a daydreaming thing. And we're going to talk about how that kind of applies, because it's exactly how children are. Children before about the age of 8 or 9 don't really have this part developed. They're still learning the language. They're still learning how to develop things. This part of their brain doesn't really develop. So in a sense, as we're going to talk about here in a second, hypnosis returns you to a very childlike mind. a mind that's open to new experiences, a mind that's open, that learns things all the time, a mind that is really open to new possibilities. And as we get older and our critical faculty kicks in, it guards that very fragile part of our mind. And that brings us to the right side of the brain. So your right side of your brain thinks in terms of metaphors and associations and feelings. Okay, so that it thinks a whole different way. If your left brain thinks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your right brain thinks unicorn, dinosaur, 7, blue, car tire, senior prom, whatever. It doesn't think in terms of words. It thinks in terms of images and metaphors and symbols. When you see a logo for a product, that's affecting the right side of your brain. When you see a stoplight, and you don't have to say that means stop, that's your right side of your brain working. If I were to sit, and that's a metaphor. If you go into, again, a logo is a symbol that stands for something. If I show you two golden arches, you know hamburgers right away. You don't have to think hamburgers. You automatically have an association with hamburgers or clowns or French fries or McDonald's or something like that. So the symbol is there that gets you to start thinking about that. That's why logos are so powerful. The other thing that your right brain does is it thinks in terms of associations. So if I say something like police officer, excuse me, I just ruined it there, but I'll just go back and say it again. If I say something like badge, revolver, uniform, sirens, you know that I'm talking about a police officer. Those things in your brain are associated together. So it begins to draw a connection between those things. What hypnosis does, and this is really what it at the very heart of what it does, is it quiets down that left part of your brain, that part that judges and evaluates and says, this doesn't make any sense. If I say something like knives, kitchen, vegetables, chicken, cooking, who am I talking about? You know what I'm talking about. But if I say the same thing and add in horse to that, then your unconscious mind's like, well, the horse doesn't belong in there. The evaluative part of your brain says it doesn't belong in there. So what we do in hypnosis is we quiet down that logical linear part of your brain. We quiet that critical part down. We return you to a childlike state so that you can begin making new associations to things that you never had before. And what that does is if you have a problem, you can go in and search the vast database of what's going on inside of your unconscious mind, and you can begin to associate it with a solution. So I want to say something about your unconscious mind here. Your unconscious mind, and this is just a metaphor for how it works, your unconscious mind is like a library full of books, of all the experiences that you've ever had, of all the things that anybody's ever told you, of anything you've ever read, any experience that you've had, anything that's ever good that's happened to you or bad that's happened to you. And your unconscious mind is the storehouse for all of these things. Your conscious mind is like a piece of paper. So the difference between your conscious mind and your unconscious mind is vast. And when you leave behind that conscious mind, when you leave behind that part of you that is judgmental, and I don't mean judgmental in a bad way, that judges, evaluates, and criticizes things, that evaluates things, then you can get into the whole storeroom of your mind, and you can say, well, this book goes with this book. I'm looking for this problem. I have this problem. I better go to this section of the library and get the solution. So it takes in all sorts of things. If your unconscious mind takes in about 2 million bits of information per second, which is a lot. Your conscious mind takes in 2,000 bits of information per second. It's very, very small. But you're taking in so much that just doesn't get processed in the same way that your conscious mind does. And what we do in hypnosis is we can go in there and start to put together all of this data that's happened so that you can see things, and we'll talk about how to do this in a second. You can see things in a whole different way. You can put new solutions together in ways that you hadn't done before. You can start to see your problems from a whole different way and have a whole new experience. So this brings us to the goal of hypnosis here. Now, I'm actually working on this. This is actually a work in progress. I made this chart over here. This is based on a couple different hypnotists that I've read about here. But the goal here is to create an internal experience so real that it affects the body and changes beliefs, feelings, and behaviors. So very briefly, this is how this works. Somebody may have chatted at me here. Okay. So what that means is this is the normal, natural way that you and I learn. We have an experience that then forms our beliefs, that then reinforces, that then filters our experience, that then reinforces our beliefs, that filters our experience. And this is how our brains work. Anytime you have a new experience, it begins to create a new belief. And so sometimes people have really bad experiences that create really bad beliefs. For instance, if your teacher told you or your parent or something like that says, you're no good, here's why you're no good, here's all the reasons you're no good, that experience is going to form an unconscious, deep unconscious belief inside of you that now you're going to start looking for everything that confirms that you're worthless. You're going to start to frame your experiences, to filter your experiences to reestablish and confirm that belief that you have. So let me give you another example. Let's say that you had a string of bad luck as a kid, right? Things started happening. You fell off your bike and get hit by a car, whatever happened that was a terrible experience for you. And you start to believe that you're unlucky. Because you've had all these unlucky experiences, you form the belief that you're unlucky. You're going to start filtering all of your new experiences through this lens of being unlucky, and you're going to start actually looking for ways that prove that you're unlucky. So one of the things that I would do as a hypnotist is I would go in, I would shut down the left part of your brain, and I would begin to create an experience for you by which you are having a deep internal experience that then starts to change your belief about being lucky. Well, how about this? And has there ever been a time in which you won something? Has there ever been a time, and we're going to bring you back to those experiences. We're going to start to associate those experiences in a different way, and we're going to start to change the belief. So let me give you an example that I've been using a lot here lately. If you don't believe in aliens because you've never seen an alien before, it is the law of attraction, but I think that the law of attraction, somebody said this in the chat, it is the law of attraction, but I don't think the law of attraction is all that necessarily spiritual. I think that you are filtering your experience to get what you want unconsciously. Your unconscious mind is doing this automatically. So let's say that you don't believe in aliens, right? Let's say that you're like, aliens, that's crazy, right? And then an alien ship lands on your front yard and you experience aliens for the first time. Spock gets out of the thing and he says, hey, how you doing? Your experience of Spock is going to change your beliefs about aliens. So what we want to do is we want to find when a person's being hypnotized, we want to find what their experience and belief loop is, and we want to get in there and we want to change that. We want to change that whole thing so that you have a new experience of your old problem, so that you have a brand new experience of your life, of yourself, of the things that you filtered out because of unhelpful beliefs, and we want to give you a new experience which then forms brand new beliefs and feelings. So I have a metaphor for this. And that's Santa Claus. So I have this kid here. I think he looks funny. So this is Santa Claus metaphor. So what goes on is this: when you talk to a little kid who's under the age of 7 years old, and you tell him or her that Santa Claus is outside, do you think that they're going to have a physiological reaction to that news? And the answer, I'm not going to wait for the answer. The answer is yes. You tell a little 7-year-old kid, a 5-year-old kid, that Santa Claus is waiting outside. His heart rate's going to go up. His breathing's going to go up. His whole body's going to tense up. His whole body's going to have things like adrenaline going through it. He or she is going to get very, very excited about the fact that Santa Claus is outside. Now, you and I both know that Santa Claus is not outside. But that kid is having a real internal experience that's literally changing his physiology. It's a very real experience to him. And when it comes to experiences, whether you're having an external experience or an internal experience, it's exactly the same process. In fact, your brain does not know if something's happening outside of your head or if it's happening inside of your head. The only time it understands that there's something happening that's outside versus inside is that critical faculty, that left side, that linguistic, logical, linear way of doing things. So when we quiet that down, and then we give you an internal experience that to your brain seems real, it will begin to rewire your brain just like every other experience does. And that's, again, the point of hypnosis, is that we want to give you such a real vivid experience that those old beliefs that you used to have about yourself, about you're not being confident, or you're not lucky, or or you overeat, or I have to eat this way, or I have to drink this way, or I have to use methamphetamines. I have a client that I got off of methamphetamines, and several that I've helped to stop drinking. That's going to be something that's really going to change that internal structure. So one of the things you can do with the hypnosis that we're about to do, and we're about to get into it here, is that you can use these techniques to quiet down somebody's critical faculty. This is the part of them that's actually causing anxiety, that's causing all the troubles. And once you calm that down, have them imagine something that's really pleasant and nice, and they're going to start to have that experience of calm and feeling calm. The deeper that you get somebody to go in hypnosis, the more profound the experience is going to be for them, and the more physiological change is going to happen, the more neurological change is going to take place and is going to happen. Anybody have any questions before we go on? We're going to start learning we're going to do the techniques right now. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, that there's nothing really particularly like spiritual or metaphysical about hypnosis. It's a cognitive process that quiets down one part of your brain and utilizes another. Oh, great question. So I got a question. Does psychedelics have the same effect? So great question. I can address that now right before we go into the next part. If you watch the Andrew Huberman podcast on psychedelics, Andrew Huberman, he's on YouTube. He talks about psilocybin. He talks about ketamine. He talks about other things. But ketamine actually has a similar thing. But psilocybin, I've never tried it. I don't know. I know people that have, who are hypnotists, and they do tell me that psilocybin has the same effect on your brain as hypnosis, but it's 1,000 times stronger. So they do the exact same thing. They quiet down the critical part of your brain, and they fire up that part of your brain that makes associations, that creates feelings, that creates experiences. So that those experiences, even though they're going on inside of the person's head, are very real and can actually help to rewire the brain. So yeah, there's science behind it. There's science behind hypnosis. It's not woo-woo or anything anymore. It's a very scientific process. Stanford University is studying it right now. And there's all sorts of great ways that people can use this. So the thing I don't like about psilocybin, I've never done it. I would not like to relinquish control. I would not like to give up control. In hypnosis, you are in complete control. There is no brainwashing. There's no mind control. There's nothing like that. You are in more control because you are in deeper contact with your unconscious mind. So you're more in control. And nobody can tell you something to do in hypnosis that's against your better judgment. Your unconscious mind will always do what it needs to do to protect you. So that's what we want to do going into the hypnosis that we're about to learn is you want to create that environment. And then as you learn hypnosis, you get better at it. You want to create that environment by which you can create for yourself or another person an internal experience that's so real that it can actually cause a physiological reaction and can actually go so far as to change the neural pathways because you're giving them a new experience that gives them a new belief. So again, look at the diagram here before we go to the next slide. The way that you get out of this experience belief loop, and this is where most people are, and you have 1,000 of them. You have 1,000 that you aren't even aware of right now. You're aware of some beliefs that you have, but you're not aware of really how the brain has codified everything that you actually experience. Is you give them a new experience. That's the arrow on the right. You give them that new experience, and you get them out into a new and better experience belief loop. If somebody says they're unlucky, I'm unlucky, I'm unlucky, and then you help them to experience that, in fact, they are lucky, they are lucky, they are lucky, that's going to start to change, very rapidly change that belief. How rapid would your belief about aliens be if an alien stepped in front of you right now and said, Nanu, Nanu, you know? Your belief would instantly change. It doesn't take a long time for that belief experience loop to change. It just takes a vivid enough experience to overshadow the old experience belief loop and to get you into a new thing. So how hard is it to learn hypnosis? So it's not hard at all to learn hypnosis. I like to make the metaphor of spaghetti. Anybody can make spaghetti. I can teach you how to make spaghetti in about 5 minutes. Boil some noodles, drain the water, put some sauce on it, you got some spaghetti, right? So hypnosis is really not that hard. You're going to find that out here right now. Where it comes in, where the difference comes in is building that skill up. If I go to culinary school for 5 years, my spaghetti is going to taste way different than your spaghetti if you just learn how to make it, okay? So I study this stuff all the time. It's very, very deep. There's a lot going on here just like if you were to go to culinary school and study how thyme and how rosemary work together, or how salt and pepper go right into making the right spaghetti, or putting the spices in. So I've learned that. I've learned how to make a good pot of spaghetti better than most people can. And that's how I use hypnosis, is I help people to have that wonderful experience. What you're going to learn today is you're going to learn how to boil water. You're going to learn how to put noodles into the pot. You're going to learn how to pour the sauce on and have a basic pot of spaghetti, right? You're going to learn the basics of hypnosis today. And you really will be able to hypnotize yourself and other people. Now, you won't be able to do much with it because there's a lot more to hypnosis than this part that we're learning right now. But what you will be able to do, and we'll cover this in a minute, you will be able to at least calm yourself down. You'll be able to use these techniques to find calm. You'll be able to use these techniques to meditate. You'll be able to use these techniques to get into a high learning state. So if you need to learn something, you can get into a hypnotic state. That right brain is like a little child's brain. It's very spongy and porous, and very open to new understandings and things. And when you don't question them, the learning goes really fast, because that unconscious mind is so powerful compared to your conscious mind. So let's make some spaghetti here, shall we? So we're going to go over 3 easy hypnosis methods. Well, I'm going to demonstrate them for you, with you. So I want you to get comfortable right now. I just want you to get comfortable and just be in a place where, just a couple of things. Make sure that your right and left hands aren't touching. There's a reason for that, which is we don't want your right and left brain connecting through your hands. We want it to connect through your brain, the corpus callosum. So just get into a nice, comfortable spot where you're nice and safe. Make sure you're not, driving a car or anything. You shouldn't be doing this while you're driving a car anyway. But for some reason, all the hypnotists say that because people listen to hypnotic tracks in the car. That makes no sense to me. And we're going to learn 3 really easy techniques, and they're super easy. Now, these are ones I use with myself. I use this with clients. I use this on myself. Now, I have a lot more of these. I have about 30 or 40 different ways to put people into a trance. I can also talk somebody into a trance with conversational and covert hypnosis. This is under the umbrella here of a formal hypnosis. These are formal inductions. And the nice thing is that you can use all 3 at the same time. You can do the first induction, which is the 10-second hypnotist. You can do the second induction, which is the James Braid induction, or the fixation induction. And you can do the third one, which is the Freddie Jacquin relax. It's more of a deepener, but you can actually use it as an induction as well. You can use all 3 of these on a person or on yourself. And they all work really nice. Let me see this question here. Yeah, the only reason that's something my teacher told me about the hands, is that just make sure that your right and left hands aren't touching each other, just because you don't want your left and right hemispheres talking through your hands. I don't know if that's true or not, but he says not to do it. I'm going to trust my teacher there, which is Mike Mandel. So let's just do the first one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe what the process is, why it works, and then we're going to do it together. And so the first one is Igor Ledikoski. I didn't make any of these up. I just learned them I read a lot of hypnosis books. The first one is called the 10-second hypnotist, and this is my favorite one. This is actually my favorite induction. I do not like wasting time putting people into trances. I do not like wasting time. I want to just quiet that left part of the brain down, and I want to start giving them that internal experience as fast as I can. So I like a fast induction. There are inductions like the Dave Ellman induction that can take 10 minutes to do. I don't find that's necessary anymore. And I sometimes use a conversational induction, which we're not going to learn today. I can also put a person into a trance just by saying the right words in the right order, which is kind of what we're doing here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a nice, slow, deep breath through our nose. And when you're working with somebody, you want to say this out loud. You want to tell them what you're going to do. So you're going to say, in a moment, we're going to take a nice, slow, deep breath through our nose. We're going to hold it. We're going to breathe out through our mouth. And we're going to do this just a couple of times. And then I'm going to tell you to close your eyes and go into hypnosis. And everybody experiences hypnosis differently. Everybody in this session today experiences hypnosis differently. And I want you to experience hypnosis the way that you do. Some people feel heavy, or some people feel light. Some people feel like they're floating. Some people feel very, very heavy. Whatever your expectation of hypnosis is, you can just let that go right now. Just let that go right now. Then I'm going to tell you to close your eyes and go into hypnosis. You're going to close your eyes and go into hypnosis, and then I'm going to count backwards from 10 to 1. And with each number, you're going to go one level deeper and one level deeper and one level deeper. If you're working with somebody else, you want to tell them exactly the way that I just told you. When you're working with somebody else, you want to tell them exactly the way we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. You want to tell them and then do it exactly the way that you told them. And the reason you're doing that, by the way, is so that the critical mind doesn't have to look for problems. The critical mind, when you tell the critical mind, the left brain, the evaluative part, this is what I'm going to do, and then you do it, that part of your brain's actually going to trust more. So you want to build that trust with somebody as you're doing this. And you say, we're just going to have this wonderful experience. In a moment, I'm going to have you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then I'm going to tell you to close your eyes and go into hypnosis. You're going to close your eyes and go into hypnosis, whatever that means for you. Then I'm going to have you count backwards from 10 to 1. And you're going to go one level deeper and one level deeper and one level deeper. That's exactly how you want to say it. Really simple. If you're doing this with yourself, just talk to yourself like you're talking to another person. I do the 10-second hypnotist all the time. I say, in a moment, I'm going to close my eyes and go into hypnosis. And then I'm going to count backwards from 10 to 1 in my head. And I'm going to go down one level deeper. And then I do the exact same thing. So whether you're hypnotizing somebody else or you're doing it on yourself, just telegraph everything you're going to say. So let's get nice and comfortable. And just roll your shoulders. And I just want you to think of, and you can go down as deep as you want to go. Just imagine what it would be like to go all the way down deeply into that wonderful place. And you're going to be completely aware of everything. You're just going to let yourself relax and be calm. Just calm that left part of your brain and just really experience something wonderful. All right? So take a nice, slow, deep breath through your nose. Hold it and breathe out through your mouth. Now just breathe normally. All right, get ready. Close your eyes and go into hypnosis. That's right. Just pay attention to what's happening. That's all you need to do is just notice and pay attention. With each number I count, you're going to go one level deeper, one level deeper, one level deeper. So I count 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down. Just notice right now, just hear my voice as I'm just going to call your attention to some things. Just notice what's different. What's different for you will be different from everybody else listening right now. Just allow yourself to be in this new place and just explore what this feeling feels like. Understand that hypnosis is not some kind of blanking out of the mind. It's just focus. It's just focused in a relaxed state. So move your focus around to your body, to your legs, to your arms. Just notice what's different from before we began. And you're going to find it so easy to learn these little techniques. And if somebody's really having a hard time or you're having a hard time, you can do this for yourself. And you can keep doing it over and over, bringing people out, taking people back in until they start to feel calm or you start to feel calm. And all we're doing is that focus in on how you're feeling, letting go of any judgment or any evaluation, and just having an experience right now of the calm and the peace that you can have. And if we were to continue to go deeper, I could give you all an internal experience that would allow you to see things from a whole different perspective. And your brain would see it as a very real experience starting right now. I'll do that for you in a moment. So in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and you're going to come all the way back up. You're going to readjust yourself, and we're going to go into that second method. As I count 1, 2, 3, 4, opening your eyes, and 5, all the way back, all the way back. And just notice, we didn't go very deep. You can just do this. You can do all 3 of these things. You can take your time with them, go as deep as you want to go. I tend to stack these on top of each other. You just, when you do this, when that critical part of your mind goes quiet, you begin to I notice, my experience is my muscles begin to release. They begin to relax. So it's called the 10-second hypnotist. It's really easy. Take a breath. Tell your person or yourself, close your eyes and go into hypnosis. Count backwards from 10 to 1, nice and slow, and just go down 1 level each time. And that's all you have to do. It's really easy. I do this one all the time. I love this one. This is the one I use on myself a lot. I also use a complicated one later, but we're not going to cover that in this session here. So here's the second one. This is the very traditional one. When you think of a hypnotist using a gold watch or something like that, this is what they're doing, the second one. They really are doing something here. And remember that hypnosis is a lot about focus, right? It's a lot about focus. So you have, so I want you to pick something. So we'll just talk about it here. So I'll read it to you. You're going to find an object in your field of vision and fixate on it. So there's reason for the fixation. It's when you think, you're like I'm doing it right now. If I were to ask you what you had for dinner last night, your eyes would go up in the back of your head, and you'd start to look around, be like, oh, I had pizza, or who did you go to the senior prom with? I went with Susie. I did go to senior prom with Susie. So your eyes roll around in your head when you start to think. That's your conscious mind trying to find the answer, right? So the eye fixation, the reason that we do this is because it limits that critical part of your mind looking for things, looking for answers. It calms it down. So you're not looking around looking for answers. You're just it's going to calm that part of your brain down, in other words. So you're going to find an object in your field of vision, fixate on it. As you fixate on the object, just imagine your eyes getting heavy. This is what you want to say to them. I'm giving you the exact script, all right? You just say it word for word like I'm saying it here. Just imagine your eyes getting heavy. You don't have to tell them that their eyes are getting heavy. Just tell them to imagine that their eyes are getting heavy. And then say, in a moment, I will count from 5 to 1. And you can go deeper and deeper with each number and close your eyes whenever it feels right. Now, they may not close their eyes for some reason. Just after you get to 1, just tell them to close their eyes at that point and go into hypnosis. You can borrow from the first one. But typically speaking, when you might even notice right now, as I'm saying it to you, my eyes are just feeling heavy right now. Their eyes are going to naturally start blinking a lot. They're going to start closing. And when their eyes close, you just say, that's right. You say, that's right. That's what you want to do. And if their eyes aren't closed by 1, just tell them, close your eyes and just relax. Okay? So let's try this now. So let's try this one right here. And after the third one, I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions so that you can just begin to experience something inside of hypnosis. All right, so fixate on something. Find something you can fixate on. This is a great way to go into some kind of hypnotic experience. It's really, really nice. Really easy way to do it. And I want you to just focus. I'm going to focus on my camera. This is the reason I have the fireplace behind me and the fake background that I have. Because sometimes people want to just fixate on the fireplace that I have behind me. And just fixate it on it and just breathe. And just have your person or yourself just look at it for about 5, 10, 20 seconds. Just this act alone, when their eyes are fixated, means that their brain is going to start calming down. Because when you limit rapid eye movement, it starts to calm the brain. In a moment, I'm going to count backwards from 5 to 1. And as I do, you can just imagine your eyes getting heavier. And they can close at any time while I'm doing this. And once they close, you can just let yourself go into hypnosis and just really feel that difference, that change in your state. And if your eyes don't close by 1, I'll just give you a little nudge and you can close your eyes after that. But whenever your eyes feel like closing, whenever they get a little too heavy, whenever it's easier to keep your eyes closed more than it is to keep them open, just let them close naturally and normally. And again, as you fixate on that spot, as you look at that spot that you're staring at right now, just imagine your eyes getting heavier as I count backwards from 5 to 1 as I say 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. All the way down. All the way down. Just close your eyes if they're not already closed. Just be still. Just let the tension just fall right out of your muscles. That's right. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and when I say 4, you can open your eyes, and on 5, you can come back and just feel really good and be ready for the last part here as I count 1, 2, 3, 4, opening your eyes, and 5, all the way back, all the way back. Now, you see, there's nuances to hypnosis that I'm doing right now, like changing my voice and giving some extra suggestions in there. This is the salt and pepper that goes in the spaghetti, right? So as you get better at this, as you learn more of this, and it's an infinite amount of things to learn. I've been studying, I've read about 50 books on it, and I'm still learning to this day. You get better and better at that. So here's the third one. This eyes fixation is James Braid. He actually is the one that came up with the word hypnosis. This is one of the oldest hypnotic inductions, by the way, the one we just did. It's the one where people are watching the watch. You know, and if you're swinging the watch, it doesn't really make any difference because your eyes are still not accessing the same parts that it normally does. So this last one is a really good thing if you want to use this with one of the other two, or you want to use it by itself. I typically use this with one of these other two. Now I have a lot more inductions that I use, but I use this one a lot actually. And so it's nice to attach to the 10-second hypnotist. It's nice to attach to the eye fixation once their eyes are closed. Or you can just do it all by itself and encourage them at some point to close their eyes and go into hypnosis, right? So this is called the relax induction, or the relax technique. And so we're going to attach something to the word relax. We're going to attach the idea, we're going to kind of give an instruction on top of that. And you see, this is very, very easy to do. Once you're inside of hypnosis, that's where the real difficult part comes, because you got to know what you're doing in there. But at the very least, you can just calm yourself down. So you're going to say, in a moment, I'm going to say the word relax 4 times, okay? And then you're going to attach something to the word relax. You're going to say, every time I say the word relax, you can use any words you want. You can use the word calm. It doesn't really make any difference. The important part is you're going to kind of attach meaning to the word. Every time I say the word relax, I would like you to imagine a wave of relaxation going over your whole body. Now, when I use this, I describe the wave of relaxation. I say, you know, when I say relax, you can imagine it going through your head and around your eyes and down your face and to your neck and to your shoulders. You can imagine it going down your arms. You can imagine it going through your chest and your stomach. You can imagine it going down your legs to your ankles, and you can imagine it going down to your feet and your tips of your toes. I do say that. I didn't fit on the slide here, but you don't have to do any of that. You can just say imagine. Now, again, this is really important. You don't want to tell them you're going to feel a wave of relaxation. What you want to do is you say, I want you to imagine a wave of relaxation. Because if you tell someone that they're going to feel something and then they don't do it, they're not going to go into hypnosis. But anybody can imagine going into relaxation. So I'm going to add something to this. I'll say this. I'll say that when I say the word relax, at any time, if you want to close your eyes and go even deeper, you're welcome to do that. And by the time the 4th relax comes, if they don't have their eyes closed, just ask them to close their eyes. So there's not rocket science here. You can say a lot of different things there. All right, so I'd like you just to fixate on that spot right now that we fixated on before. For me, it's the camera, but it can be for anything for you. And in a moment, I'm going to say the word relax, nice and slow 4 times. And each time I say the word relax, I just want you to imagine that wave of comforting relaxation going throughout your whole body. Just imagine it. That's all you have to do. Every time that wave of relaxation goes through your body, starting from the top of your head, going through your face and your neck and your shoulders, down your arms and your torso and your legs and your feet, just relax one level deeper. Go 100 times deeper than you were. And anytime you want to close your eyes, you can. And just go even deeper. When you close your eyes, you're just going to go even deeper than before. When we get down to the bottom of this one, I'm going to give you just a couple of suggestions for a really great day and a good night's sleep tonight. Okay, get ready here, folks. I'm going to say the word relax 4 times. Relax. 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 Just let your eyes close, if they're not already closed. Just notice that relaxation, where the most relaxed part of your body is, and just focus on that relaxation. Let it spread throughout your whole body. Become more aware of it. Go even deeper. Just relax. Just feel that calmness. And I want you to recall a time in your life, as we're down here, just a time in your life where you felt so good, so connected. You can pick one, or you can just let one come to your mind. And just remember what you saw that day. What's something that you saw in this memory that made you feel so good? Is there somebody there with you? Could you hear something? Or were the sounds? Maybe you're on the beach and you hear the waves coming in, or you're on the mountain and hearing the wind whip by, or at a party or at a dinner. Wherever you are right now, just really bring that back to life and feel what you felt that day. And if you can't come to mind with anything, just let yourself feel calm. Pretend that you're back there right now. Just pretend that you're back in that old memory. Or pretend that you feel very calm and collected right now. Just notice the physiological changes that are going on in your body. You know, if there's small ones, change in your breathing or heart rate, or the tension in your muscles going away. That's right. That's right. And just breathe. Just hear me now, and just take in the words that I have to say, that you can feel this wonderful, focused, relaxed feeling for the rest of your day, no matter what you need to do. You'll handle it with skill and competence. You'll be amazed at just how competent and skillful you truly are. And tonight, at the end of your day, when you put your head on the pillow, just imagine right now going right to sleep and sleeping the best night of sleep in your whole entire life. And if anything disturbs you during the night, you wake up and take care of it and go right back to sleep, the deepest, most wonderful sleep. What would it be like if you had that sleep tonight? And when you wake up tomorrow morning and you put your feet on the ground, just allow yourself, give yourself permission to feel a wave of confidence going from the floor all the way up through your body, like a jolt of electricity. And feel energized as you take your first big breath of the morning, and carry that throughout your entire day. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and you can bring all those wonderful feelings back with you right now. Begin to integrate these 3 little processes that I've taught you for yourself or for other people. You want to practice it on other people, learn from other people. As I count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All the way back. All the way back. That's right. Come all the way back. So again, you can just see hypnosis is not that hard. What you do in hypnosis is the challenging part. But at the very least, At the very least, what can you do with this right now? At the very least, you can calm yourself down, calm somebody else's anxiety down, and you can use it on yourself as well. And if you can use these 3 things just for those purposes, now I have a lot of things I use hypnosis for, but at the end of this, I want you to be able to just put yourself in a whole different state of mind. And those 3 techniques that we have, you can stack them up. You can do 10-second hypnotist, then have somebody wake up, do the fixation, have them wake up. You can do the relaxation. You can tag the relaxation onto something. So what's nice about hypnosis is you can do one after the other. If you ever watch a stage hypnotist, they often stack, they call stacking inductions. It's as easy as saying to somebody or yourself, close your eyes and go into hypnosis. And then you close your eyes and go into hypnosis. So what's hypnosis good for? I think that this, again, we're not exhaustive here. Can't teach you everything in an hour. It took me 6 months to learn, to go to school for it. But hypnosis does help with all of these things. And I have helped everybody with every single one of these things so far. I've helped people with trauma. I've helped people with all sorts of things. Good. Somebody said, Keith said, I feel extremely relaxed from these 3. Yeah, people overcomplicate hypnosis and they think it's magical. It's just a natural process. So what we can do with like trauma and PTSD, remember, trauma is an experience that created a belief. And so what we do in there is we go in and we change how you experience the trauma safely, and we change the belief that comes, the effect of it that comes from it. Obviously, anxiety, that's kind of one of the things that we're doing today. Sadness, I have to call it sadness because depression is a clinical word, is a medical word. I've helped people heal relationships, mothers and sons, particularly husbands and wives sometimes. It can stop bad habits from nail biting to meth. Like I said, one of my best clients is I got a guy off of meth last year, and he's doing great, really, really great. Eating habits, bad eating habits. You can create better habits. So if you're already doing something good and you want to get better at it, that's one of the things that you can do, is you can create those better habits. You can improve an existing skill that you already have. So let's say that you're a golfer and you want to be a better golfer. You can use it for that. I actually used it at Top Golf once. I don't golf. And so I used a little hypnosis when I went up to the tee. I imagined myself hitting the ball. I used some hypnotic techniques, and then the holes are huge in that whole thing. But I was able to hit it right into the giant hole. So and then I sat down and ate some chicken wings. So hypnosis, I have a question here. Can it help you with learning language? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely. Because I speak multiple languages myself, and one of the things you have to do is simply to focus on that. Keep focused on that. So, and then you can learn self-hypnosis. So here's the deal. I do offer something called the experience. If you are at the end of your rope right now, if you are at a point where you want to get something accomplished or fixed, if you're tired of doing what you're doing, if you're feeling stuck in what you're doing, I do offer group sessions or one-on-one sessions. And again, we can go back to this thing right here. I do all of those things. I either do it privately or I do it in group settings like this. If this is something that you're interested in, it's a course that I do called The Experience. Look how happy this lady is. So I do 8 weeks. If you do it personally with me, it's 10 weeks actually. And so these are all the things that we cover. I teach you some more self-hypnosis for reducing anxiety. We get you to the root of the problem. I talk about forgiveness because a lot of people's problem is they can't forgive themselves or other people. I eliminate guilt and shame. We declutter the mind. We identify and clear out old habits. We design new habits and give you a new experience of that. And then we create and implement a vision of the future. A huge part of people getting, especially sober from things, but any kind of problem, is that they don't have a vision of what it's going to be like when the problem is fixed. And that's one of the things that I help you to do. That is giving you an experience that creates a belief that it's actually possible. So those are the things that we do. I would love, went backwards there. One of the things that I do is I offer it personally. So if you have something you really want to fix and work on, this is what we do. It's a one-on-one session for 8 weeks plus 2 follow-up sessions. You get hands-on personalized hypnosis. We work and we continue to work. It's that one-on-one training. It's that one-on-one conversational and formal hypnosis that we do. I have a thing called the Inner Circle, which is in my library of hypnosis, and you get a lifetime access to that. And then you can come back and join the group course anytime for the rest of your life. As long as I'm running the group course, you're welcome back to it. And of course, the group course is a little different. It starts next week at this same time. We're going to be doing group hypnosis every week, following that same syllabus there, that same set of modules and weeks. I'm limiting it only to 10 people because I want to have that touch. You get a recording of every class as well as all of the protocols that we use, all of the hypnosis. We do group hypnosis together, which is, I think, more powerful in some ways than the individual hypnosis. And you get a year membership into the Inner Circle, which is, again, access to all my libraries of stuff. And then you have a lifetime ability to join the group at any time. If this is something that interests you, I do 2 things. I either work with people individually or I work with people in this group kind of session. What I do is I'm starting that group session next week. The personal is expensive. I'm not going to lie. That's because I'm giving you all of my time and all of my attention. So it is $200 a session there, but I really reduced the price for the group sessions. So if this is something that you're interested in, I'm going to put a couple links in right now to this. And if you're interested in signing up, again, we're going to be starting next week. There they are. We're going to be starting next week with the group experience. That'll run for 8 weeks. You can just click on that second link, or if you want to do something personal with me, I'm only taking 1 new person right now, but you will get all of my attention for 10 weeks, and we will make sure that the problem is solved. You can think about that. There's no reason to do anything right now. If you want to click on one of those links and sign up for next week's course, it's only going to be 10 people. I know that about 85 people signed up for this, whether you're live or you're watching the replay. About 85 people. So I just want to offer that to you. I'm here because I want to help people, and I like to keep that really, really inexpensive. So $60 a session at that point for 8 weeks. With the personal experience, you get 2 more sessions on top of that. So it is more expensive, but that's because you're getting my personal touch, and I only have the 1 spot open. So if that's something you're interested in, we start the group session next week at this time, same time, and we're going to run for 8 weeks. And so I'd love to have you there and just be a part of all that. So you're welcome to do what you want to do there. I just want to make that offering to you. If you wanted to do some further work with me, if you're ready to I get about 90% of my people get to where they want to be. The only reason that the other 10% don't is because they're not ready to let go of whatever the thing is that's keeping them stuck. Do you guys have any questions or comments or anything while we're here about the experience, about how to do this better, about working with me privately? Any of those kind of questions that you might have? I'm watching the chat right now. Make sure that happens okay. Questions or comments? Yeah, great. Good. Thank you so much. Why my chat is so gigantic? Is there something to that? I don't know. My chat is just ginormous. Yeah, good. Again, I'm going to be starting this. I'm going to be sending out the emails to the people here. You'll get the replay when it's all done. And a week from now, we're going to start that group session for the next 8 weeks. Only 10 spots there. That's because I want to make sure that even in the group dynamic, I don't want people to get lost in the shuffle. So there'll be other things that are coming along too. But that class starts next week. And if you want to do a personal one, you can do that anytime. You felt so. I want to make sure I say your name right. Gosh, why is that so gigantic where I can't even read the? There we go. Raven, is that your name? I felt yourself relaxed with less muscle tension. Great, that's great. Yeah, that's super good. So once you release that tension, and that critical part of your mind is offline, then I can go in with an experience. so watch a stage hypnosis thing sometime. They're having an experience up there on the stage. Stage hypnosis is real hypnosis. It's not what I do, but they're having a real experience up there on the stage. And you can too. In the group sessions, are we going to learn how to use hypnosis on other people? Jessica, I'm going to be doing I'm starting a separate course in August 20th. I'm doing a full 10-week learn how to hypnotize people. I have a student here right now. She can tell you, she's just actually finishing up. But I'm going to be doing a full 10 weeks on that. I think it's August 20th. So if you're interested in that, let me know. That's going to be the same pricing as this. So I think it's $497 for the 10 weeks for that. So it actually goes down to $50 a session. But I will be teaching hypnosis in August for 10 weeks. And the cool part about that is you get both the therapy and you learn how to do hypnosis because I hypnotize the group. So it's actually kind of a cool thing. It was originally what I was going to offer here, but I thought that maybe people wanted to do some group work before that. So you're welcome to take your time on that. It's going to be well worth it. It's so much cheaper that I know that money's tight with people, so I wanted to create something that was really affordable and also really effective. So people get a lot out of the group session. I have 2 people here that are my group sessions have been for a year. So yeah, good. Thank you. So thank you for saying that. I think the price is awesome too, because I really want to work with people, but I also like to eat. so that's just what happens there. Anybody have questions or comments? I also have another thing I'm going to tell you. I have something called the Inner Circle, which is which I mentioned in the thing, and that's my monthly thing. That's $7 a month, and I have about 50 hypnosis tracks. We're going to do a group session every month. So if you're not interested in doing this group work, we can. You're studying NLP because there's similarities in NLP because half of NLP is based on hypnosis, is based on Milton Erickson. That's why. So I mean, they modeled Milton Erickson, so who's the father of modern hypnosis. So go use this with people. You can't hurt anybody with this. The worst thing that will happen is they'll fall asleep on you, and then they'll thank you for the best nap of their life. Because that's what happens. Hypnosis is not sleep, but hypnosis can lead you to sleep. I use hypnosis every night to put myself to sleep. I can put myself to sleep in 30 seconds every day. So, all right, everybody. It's yeah, great. Well, if you have people that you know are stuck and want to do the thing too next week, just send them my way. You can always send me an email. You have my emails from the session reminders, and you're very welcome to send them my way for that. Oh yeah, Keith, it usually utilizes the same thing as meditation, but when you're doing hypnosis and you're creating an internal experience. Again, experience changes beliefs, and beliefs reinforce or filter your experience. It's a way of using the same meditative process to actually create a change very fast. That's why it creates the change so fast. It's because the experience is so real internally that it's just so real that it changes. It can't help but change things. So the deeper I get somebody, the faster the changes actually happen. I would agree with that as well. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you go here. Again, I'll put those links into the chat to make sure that you can get them if you want. The first one is for the personal experience. I know that that's expensive, and that's because you get a lot of my time, and so I just have one of those. That's because I'm not taking a lot of one-on-one clients anymore. But the group experience is just as good. In fact, I think in some ways group hypnosis is better just because of what I said. Because we actually hypnotize each other in the group. But you're welcome to do that. Sign up for either one of those things, and we'll start next week at the same time. All right? We'll see you all. Hope to see you all there. And if not, we'll see you on one of the places you met me, social media or wherever. All right, everybody. Take it easy. Have a great day.
Recording stopped.
Great. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed the experience. I'll stick around for a few minutes to answer any questions you might have. You can chat. You can open your microphones now too if you'd like. Just have a chat. Yeah, you're welcome, Jessica. It's great to see you. owe you an email about the mastermind thing. I did talk to everybody, and I think everybody's in for that.
This is better for me to speak that rather than to be typing.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
I have the same accent when I type, so but it takes me longer.